Alright, let's do this. Sorry to put you through this, Miss Kawashiro. Going against your post just to help us. Don't worry about it. It was still my decision. I just didn't want to regret anything later. Miss Kawashiro. So how did the fingerprint examination on the bottle turn out? The thing is, there were my fingerprints and then some fingerprints I've never seen before. They didn't match up with anyone connected to the case so far. But I didn't think I had any time to look for who they belonged to, so I rushed over to the courthouse. But if you try to bluff in court, you'll be found out for sure. So it's not decisive evidence yet. Right. But Miss Kawashiro, can you guess as to when these fingerprints were made? Sure, they were definitely made sometime during the incident. How can you be so sure? That's because I bought this bottle just that morning from Corindon. There are some pretty flowers that bloom near my house. I wanted to put something in them to perk up the doll storeroom a bit. But I didn't have any flower vases or anything, so I went to Corindon to pick something up. But doesn't this mean that these could be prints from before you bought it? They might even be Miss Mochika's fingerprints. No problem, there's no chance of that. The bottle was kind of dirty when I bought it. So after I brought it home, I cleaned up to top to bottom, inside and out. So all fingerprints from before that day were wiped off. And of course, by wiping them off, they're gone for good. So these are the fingerprints from after that. Yeah, and for the rest of the day, the bottle stood on a desk in the storeroom. So no one other than me should have touched it. Which makes these the fingerprints left by the ghost who you were chasing around earlier. But we don't know who the ghost is. Yeah. Sorry, I guess it's not as decisive as I thought it would be if we don't know whose prints these are. Wait a minute. Why is everyone looking so depressed? Isn't this art conclusive evidence? Hurry up and find the thief so I can go home. Unfortunately, we're still one step away from using this as any kind of evidence. So can't you do something about it? Well, there's only one thing we can do. Miss Kawashiro, let's find a match for these prints right now. Okay, but I've already checked everyone. If we can't find a match among everyone related to the case, then they must clearly belong to someone as of yet unrelated to the case. Ah, that's right. You said something like that earlier, didn't you? You had a guess to the identity of the real criminal. Really? But she said we didn't have anything connected to this person to the case. So what's the point? Yes, this person is unrelated to this case at this moment, but not for long. So just who is this person? That is something the results of the fingerprints comparison will reveal. Just as I suspected. How did this happen? How are Kogasa's fingerprints doing there? How did you know Kogasa, Nidori? Yeah, I do. Come to think of it, I never did tell you guys about her, did I? Do you remember the brand spanking new technology we came out around the time of the Chiridian mess? The Kappa Energy and Industrial Revolution, if I remember correctly. I read about it in the newspaper too. It seems that the god living at the top of the mountain was behind everything. Yeah, that's it. IS people really got the word out. Us Kappas got a lot of attention about our technology because of that. But what does this have to do with Miss Tadara? She read about our technology in the papers too. She seemed really interested in that kind of stuff. So she comes to the Yokai Mountain a lot to study it. Really? That seems a lot different from the story she told us. What? What happened? We missed Miss Tadara earlier today. This is what she told us. By the way, Miss Tadara, you wouldn't happen to know of the recent incident? There was an incident? Yes, an invention was stolen from a Kappa living on Yokai Mountain. Sorry, but I haven't heard anything about it. I'm into scaring humans, so why'd hang around a mountain full of yokai? I've never been anywhere near that crime scene. But that's not right. She's been coming to my place all the time. Did you tell her about the safe by any chance? Yeah. But of course I didn't tell her the code. But if she had the paper, she could very well have opened it. While I did tell her about making the memo, it's not like I told her where it was. But why did you tell her about the memo? She asked about it while I was explaining the lock mechanism. Once the numbers are set, if you don't know the code, you can't open the safe. Even though I sometimes forget the code, I said it was no problem since I keep a memo of it. So Miss Tadara knew about the memo. She probably thought to search for it later. I have just one more question for you, Miss Kawashiro. What is it? Ask me anything. I'll answer the best I can. Then, what about Momoji's fingers on the camouflage suits. Don't you have any kind of guesses as to how it got there? Ah, that, huh? I was wondering about it too, so I thought long and hard about it. And there's only one answer I could think of. But it doesn't seem all that likely. So what is it? Well, the thing is, there are actually 2 optical camouflage suits. What did you say? The one I made a while ago was a prototype, a trial run. Did you remember the time when those gods moved to the top of the mountain and then Reimu and Marissa climbed it to beat them up? It's the one I used back then, but they were able to spot me easily enough. I wanted to make improvements that would let it make you completely invisible, but that was such a shock to me that I kinda lost the drive to do it. But then I thought it would help Momiji in her patrolling, so I decided to go ahead and with it. Since I wanted Momiji to get a good feel for it, I get a better idea of her size, I had to try on the prototype. Oh, that's right, now I remember. It's been so long since then, I kinda forgot about it. Is that the thanks I get? And after I worked so hard to make it? Sorry. It's just that I've been so busy helping Aya gather evidence. We've been flying all over their place. Anyway, I finished making the upgraded suit not too long ago. But because of that, I had no need for the old suit, so I threw it out into the junkyard. And what is this junkyard? Oh, that's where us Kappa dispose of all the parts and stuff we don't need anymore. But it's kind of a community spot too, since sometimes there are spots that can be reused. Just because I don't need something anymore doesn't mean someone else can't use it, right? You know what they say, one Kappa's trash is another Kappa's treasure. Oh, I think I know where it is. About halfway up the mountain, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. Alright. But the only thing you need to do to take something out of the junkyard is to leave something there in return. So you're saying it's likely that the criminal had access to the prototype suit. Yeah, but the thing is, only the Kappa really know about the junkyard. It's not exactly the most beautiful spot on the mountain, and it's in a spot where most humans won't find it. By the way, what happened to the upgraded suit after you finished it? I was about to go give it to Momiji, but that's when Yomu dropped by asking me to fix her alarm clock. And it seemed like she was really in a hurry to have it fixed, so I figured I should do that first. And then after I finished with the clock, Tenshi came and wanted a game of shogi. And she demanded that I bet the suit on it. That's not it at all. I was betting a celestial treasure. I just wanted you to bet something of equal worth to make it fair. So the optical camouflage that was stolen from was the upgraded one. Looks like it. And since I haven't even shown it to Momiji yet, there's no way her fingerprints would be on it. So then, the suit that was found in Miss Hinana's pocket was the prototype. Yeah. I think what happened is that Kogasa took the prototype from the junkyard, then put it in Tenshi's pocket to pin the crime on her. But I don't see how she would know about the junkyard in the first place. It doesn't seem like it at all, does it? Well, I guess it's possible she followed me when I went there to throw it away. But it's not like I told her. But as long as it's possible, that's all we need. So the real thief is Kogasa. I'm reasonably certain, yes. The trial's about to resume, Aya. I'll be watching from the gallery, Aya. You can do it. Show them who the real thief is. Oh, this will give them a taste of your forensics. And don't forget to prove me innocent too. Yes, because, you know, we kind of stuck doing that still. Yes, I know that. Drop of the Ghost can create fountain Kogasa's. Okay. Trial's now back in session. Yes, it is. Holy fuck. Miss Shameimaru, please present the evidence Miss Kawashiro brought to court. Yes, Your Honor. If the court would please look at this. What is that? Besides a bottle, I mean. It contains the Muroken Kumo, which is the article Miss Hinanai bet on the Shogi gang. God damn it. After the incident, its whereabouts were unknown, but it was recovered in the human village a short while ago. And fingerprints belonging to a certain individual were found on it. Fingerprints? Just think of fingerprints as marks that are left behind after you touch something. The shape is different between each human or yokai. By comparing them, it's possible to tell who touched what. Oh, I see. So then, whose fingerprints did you find on the bottle? Miss Kogasa Tadara's. Kogasa Tadara? She is an abandoned umbrella yokai. The defense would like to ask her some questions about this matter of the fingerprints. So she should be near the human village, so I don't believe it would take long to summon her. What do you think, Miss Scarlet? We might as well. We'll have Sake go in. That would not be necessary. I've been watching the trial the whole time. Miss Tara. Hello again, Aya. After you talked to me about the trial, I became a little interested in it. I thought it might be a good reference depending on what I saw from the gallery. You may be learning firsthand in that case. It seems that your fingerprints were found on that bottle. Yes, seems. Don't act like this has nothing to do with you. Aren't these your fingerprints here? Didn't you mention it earlier? Fingerprints are left simply by touching something, but you can't tell where and when they were made. That's why you can't use that evidence to prove my connection to the case. Unfortunately for you, Miss Tara, I can't prove when and where within a sufficiently specific range. Oh, how so? Miss Kawashiro bought this bottle on the morning of the incident, meaning the fingerprints were on this bottle could have been left only at her house and only in the evening. Do you still claim your irrelevance to this case? Yes, of course. I could have left those fingerprints before she bought it. That excuse won't work. Oh my, what is it this time? After Miss Kawashiro bought the bottle, she gave it a thorough washing. Ah, so what does that mean? I'm sure you probably understand what I'm getting at. Miss Tyra, fingerprints can be easily washed away. This means that any fingerprints on that bottle from before the incident are long gone. What do you have to say to that? Boo! Huh? Is that all? That's just what I was hoping from you, Aya. You pass. Hooray? Actually, I did visit Niri's house on the morning of the incident. That's when I touched the bottle. What? And that's when happened, so I have nothing to do with that case. But you told me as much earlier. You told me you have never once been near the scene of the crime. That was a lie. How about it? Are you surprised? You don't need to look so scary serious all the time. Try smiling every now and then. It's good for your health. Miss Totara. Alright then, I'll stop fooling around. Stop glaring at me. I lied so you wouldn't think I was a thief. If I told you I was near the scene of the crime earlier that day, it would have seemed suspicious, right? So why did you visit Miss Kawashiro's house? Give it as a testimony if at all possible. Roger that. She's awfully upbeat for a yokai.